What's happening, guys, and welcome to another video. And that clip that you just saw was indeed filmed on a GoPro. Now I'm about to teach you a technique which, believe it or not, only takes 1 minute to achieve, and after you've done it your footage will no longer look like it's come from a GoPro, it will look more like it's come straight from a professional DSLR. Now by the end of this video, if you don't already own a GoPro, you're probably going to want to get one. So what I'll do is I'll stick a link down in the description that will take you to Amazon so you can check out the latest price. Now at the end of this short video I will show you the entire sequence that I filmed, but for now I want to teach you how it's done. So let's jump straight onto the computer and get going. Okay guys, so we're inside Premiere Pro, but you can do this in pretty much any video software that you're using. As you can see, we've got the original GoPro clip here and it's looking pretty dull and boring, and those colours are just not standing out whatsoever. And then when we compare this to the end result, you can see a massive improvement. So I'm just going to delete all of this and then I'm going to bring the clip back in so that you can see how the process is done. Now if you look closely on the right hand side of the clip, you can actually see the edge of the little microphone which I had attached to the GoPro. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the clip in a bit, and not only that, I just think it looks a bit more cinematic when it's more focused on the boat. And from here, this is where we're going to give the clip a color grade and transform it into a masterpiece. Now, color grading can be a very complicated thing and some people take many years to learn its process. As you can see, you can play around with all of the sliders and all the great fun things like that. There's many different menus with many different options, and it can start looking quite intimidating if you haven't done this before. But as I mentioned earlier, we are not going to need to worry about any of these options because we're going to be using a specialized LUT designed especially for the GoPro camera. Now in simple terms, a LUT is basically a professional version of an Instagram filter that you can use in pretty much any video software that you own. Now as you can see, Premiere Pro actually has a number of LUTs built in, but these are standard LUTs and they're not going to give you a particularly cinematic look, and they're also not designed for the GoPro at all. They're more for larger cameras like DSLRs and full frame mirrorless. But that is where this specialist GoPro LUT pack comes in. Inside the pack there are 20 different LUTs to give you 20 completely different looks, each one giving you a level of quality to transform your GoPro footage into something special. Now for this particular footage I'm going to be using a LUT called the Epic Cinema, but you can look through all of the different LUTs until you find one that gives you that feel that you're looking for. And as you can see, with just one click, that footage has been transformed into something that looks like it's come from a much larger, much more expensive camera. Now the only other thing that I need to do to this footage is add a slight bit of vignette just to get those edges slightly darkened, and then I'm going to bring down the blacks a tiny bit, and then that is literally it. As I said, this whole process only takes about 1 minute. Now this LUT pack is not an expensive item. It would usually only cost $19.99, but for you good people watching my YouTube, you won't even have to pay that. I'll stick a link in the description along with a discount code that will give you 50% off, so you will only be paying $9.99. As a GoPro owner, this really will be one of the best investments that you will make. And not only that, but this LUT pack actually comes with a free gift, and that is the tool that we'll be using next to finish off this cinematic look. So there's 3 most common sizes of cinematic black bars that are used in the filmmaking industry, and with this pack you'll get all 3 sizes in both 1080 and 4K, so you'll be well equipped to make any style of video. For this project I used the larger style of bars, but if you want them to be a bit more subtle, you have the other 2 options there as well. So there we have it, guys. Not only is the GoPro good for vlogging, shooting action shots and filming underwater, but you now know that it's capable of producing high quality professional cinematic footage. This LUT pack really does make a huge difference, and people will not believe that you filmed your video on a GoPro. So the Epic Cinema LUT which we just used is only one out of 20 different LUTs that are in the pack. You can see more examples on the website, so check the description below and make sure you go and check that out. So I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I will finish this video with the full sequence that I filmed. Whilst you're watching it, if you could give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, that will be a great help. I hope you've learned something, and I will catch you on the next video.